Hello, it's Talien here with this week's Speedpaint Sunday. I need to take a second to check my setup though, the YouTube chat looks kind of broken. Why is it not showing anything? I can see like my preview in the YouTube studio thing. I just don't see the chat for some reason. Hello. Okay, well, I can see Otis's message in OBS at least. So if things are broken, it's only on the YouTube UI. I think I think it's working. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead with stuff. Um, cool. So, not last week, but the stream before that, we did our roll on the wheel and we got a redo. So we're doing a redo today. Uh, I think the last time we did a redo, I picked one that I really didn't like and that I wanted to get a second chance on. So this time I did something a little bit different. I picked one that I actually think worked out quite well last time. This is number 9. Here's the original for comparison. Look at that. I think that worked pretty well, but we're gonna give it another stab and just, see how it looks different this time. I do have a couple of issues with this one. Not really anything major. I do like how this turned out, but for instance, all these grays and like the clouds and the skull and whatnot are just too gray. They need to be more blue. And also, especially in the clouds, I think they need to be much darker. And then like in here and stuff, it also just this brown grayish color also needs to be way bluer, more of a purple. There's just a lot of stuff that I would do differently on my second attempt. There's also a lot of stuff that I think I did really well in this one. I really like these saturated highlights here where the light of the lantern meets the shadow on the tree. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and start our second attempt and see how it works this time. All right, let's go. Like my setup is weird. I have like my tablet positioned awkwardly. Tree is kind of the main thing here. There's a lot going on in this one, but I think we can get it figured out. Is that a reasonable shape? Maybe. Maybe. Ah! No. Well, I don't want to go too deep into this tree right now. I think we can get those details afterwards. Back here, it's really hard to make out the like borders between different stuff. Like there's rocks here, there's trees, there's skull, and it's kind of hard to tell where one thing ends and another begins, but we'll make an attempt. There's like these rocks here, and this kind of here we can put in like the path, maybe that might help. This is kind of like maybe somewhere between a quarter and a third of the way up. Sort of like that. This actually, I think, needs to go higher. And here it ends like a little bit under halfway. Okay, so maybe I did actually have it okay. Maybe even a little bit lower. This is pretty much at half, I think. Ah! Oh my gosh, I'm stupid. I started drawing this on the wrong layer. We can fix that. It's okay. It's okay. Not the end of the world. We just do this. We do that. What the heck? Oh, refer only to editing layer, please and thank you. We do this, and then we set this one to multiply. And then we're okay. Sorry about that. Whoopsies. What was I trying to do? Right, I was trying to clean up some of this. Kind of like that. And then we have like... Oh my gosh. Wrong color. Jeez. Oh, I think I was drawing this with some weird color too. Oops. My bad. Well, it is what it is. And actually this matching up, this peak more or less matching up with the tree there makes sense too. We have that. We have this big skull thing. I think it needs to be bigger. Yeah, bigger and bigger, bigger. Does that make sense? Is that about correct for skull thing? Looks about right, I think. Okay, any other details we want to place? I might want to place the lantern. Is that correct? It's roughly halfway up and roughly in this location. Yeah, I think that works. It's on like, okay, I should probably just get to coloring already. I think I'm getting a little bit too carried away with details. I don't think we need to do that. All right, so let's start colors. There's a lot going on in this one. I guess we'll just do what we usually do and start with the background. Actually, when I was looking at the original, I noticed that I had actually drawn this one in like 50 million layers. I think a lot of the time I do these with relatively few layers, sometimes even on just one or two layers for the entire thing. But that number 9 had like a whole bunch of layers, which was kind of funny to look at. Not that that's a wrong approach. I think that's a totally reasonable thing to do in this situation, but it's something that I often do not do. Also, I'm realizing that this area looks wonky. I think this stuff probably needs to be kind of lowered, and I don't know, I think there's not enough space between this tree and this mountain. Maybe I need to move the tree branch up. still, it's kind of... yeah, decent enough, whatever. Okay, let's start with the background. And what we need to do this time is just make it much more saturated and probably darker. That's maybe too dark, to be honest. How about that? It's a little bit... I think it needs to be a little bit cooler. Like that. I think that's the color I want to go with. But we're going to need to lighten it up in a lot of places too. Here, let's check like the values on that. Yeah, but actually, I think it looks surprisingly pretty good. Okay, and then, I don't know, would this color be okay for that? Actually, I think for that we should go even more towards these teals. Something like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Okay, I just want to compare that to the original one just for fun. Obviously, I'm not done yet, but things are looking a little bit different already. Okay. Now, how do we want to blend this stuff? I think we actually need the thick paintbrush for this. So it's actually really hard to tell the color difference between the sky and the mountains here. So that's going to be a little bit awkward. I'm going to try to just paint the sky and then put the mountains. I don't even know. I don't know how I'm going to do these mountains because they're like really almost the same color as the sky, which makes things weird. You know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. We have our dark color and our light color, and I think what we need to do is get an in-between color to blend them with. Otherwise, they muddy themselves up way too much. So if I just take something like this, maybe. It might be a little bit too intense. Maybe I can bring it back towards the grays a little bit more. How's that? I don't know. I don't quite like this, but I think maybe it's too light. Maybe? I think I might go with it, though. We'll use that for now. Kind of fill in, honestly, most of this light stuff, except for, like, the brightest parts. To get in some of... I feel like this... I really don't have stuff correctly. Let's try to go for like this color. That's too teal. That's not the right color either. I think I want to just get this color back. Except some parts I think need to be even lighter. Like in here. Maybe in... Why do I... What's wrong with my placement here? I feel like I have a correct amount of space above this tree branch here, but like not enough space below it. Why is that? Does my mountain need to go down? I think my mountain is like too high. Maybe? Unsure. Possibly. I guess we'll try to do that. Okay, we have that, and then let's bring some of our dark colors back in. And I do want to get some more texture in these parts of the clouds as well. So I might go in maybe with a different brush. Just in here with, I don't know. Just some kind of cloud colors. I think that's probably enough for the sky. We'll maybe leave it at that. Okay. What else? What else? Should we... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have the sky on one layer, and then maybe I'll have the mountains and the skull on a separate layer. Gosh, there's so much stuff happening back here. I'm not sure what layer to do where. I think maybe we can have the tree and this foreground stuff on one layer, and then this kind of middle background stuff on one layer, and then the what's it? The mountain and skull on one layer. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So let's take this and let's just shift it a little bit for the mountain. I don't even know where really. Just something that's like slightly different. Just enough to like stand out a little bit from the sky. I think this might do. Yeah, I think that's like just enough difference. Yeah, sure. And then for the skull, we need to go back to the blue though. The skull is like kind of the same shades as the sky. I think these eyes are like in kind of the wrong place though. More like there, yeah. And let's go in with our light color. Sort of like that. Oops. Whoa. Okay, well my thing froze. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna turn it off for now. Okay, what am I doing? Yeah, we need to get this. Ah, let's go with the thick oil paint even. Whoa. We have that. I'm just gonna put in this stuff too. I do think it's worth spending extra time on the skull because I think it's super important here. I need some more shape around here. Shape. Then like at the edges, I think I really want to go in with a very like more saturated blue. Ah. Hello, Azariaro? Is that how you say that? I don't know, but welcome to the stream. I'm maybe struggling a little bit right now, but I think we can do this. There's just a lot going on here. But it's doable stuff. It's fine however you say it, okay. Um okay, what am I doing? How are you today? I'm doing well. I have so much stuff going on in terms of streaming. I'm planning my birthday stream for next, or I guess this coming week. I yeah, I have a lot of stuff to plan and prepare. I have a what's it? tea blending stream that I'm getting ready for, because I don't know if you saw the what's it, fundraiser stuff, but we reached a tea blending stream milestone, so we're gonna have a tea blending stream. Very exciting. Uh, I think we need to go darker in some parts of this skull. I also want to be careful about time. I don't want to spend too much on the skull, because we do have other stuff to go and do. But I do think adding these little extra bits of dark shadows is helping right now. It's spelled happy. Yeah, no worries. Honestly, I didn't even notice. Okay. Skull is happening. Skull is looking pretty good. Um, right. I wanted to go ahead and just get some, like, I don't even know what color I want these highlights to be. I want them to be bright though. Bright, bright. So like along the edge here, and I think there, maybe. With your art skills, it should be illegal for your views to be this low. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I do these every week. Well, I try to do these every week. In practice, they very rarely happen every week. But if you're new around here, this is my Speedpaint Sunday challenge, where I have 1 hour to paint a landscape of my choosing. I normally do screenshots from Genshin Impact, because I think they have a lot of really cool environments. I think I'm going to have to leave the skull there for now and go work on other stuff, because we're halfway. Oh shit. Oh shit, we really need to move on. Of course, I'm an artist too, so I try and help, because I know sometimes you can help out to draw more views, sort of. Yeah. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. We really need to get working on other stuff though. I do think the skull is a really important part of this composition, so it's definitely worth spending a little bit of extra time on it, but that's enough. We need to go. It's too much. Okay, all right. Let's see what to next. Let's just start filling in some of this middle stuff. Just start getting some colors in there, because right now this is all blank. This is all empty, and that's unacceptable. Oh my gosh. Let's maybe start with like a green color. Gosh, I don't even know. So there's kind of a lot, basically 4 separate areas in this middle section. There's this like gray stuff here, there's the dark green here, light green here, and then like turquoise over there. So let's see what we can do with that. Let's start with that green. Shoot. You know what? I feel like we can just do this all in one layer. Maybe we'll just keep doing that on this layer. That's not dark enough, I don't think. Is this the screenshot of that one snake skeleton from the Inazuma Island? Yes, it is. It is indeed. You are not going crazy. Okay, whatever. We'll go with that. We can adjust it later. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's get the gray in here. Actually, let's maybe just reuse one of our blues. What blues do we have? This one, maybe. I knew it. My memory never fails me. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool, iconic scenes in this game, so it's always fun to capture them. Yeah, we'll just go with the blues for this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. we can go in with some grays later to balance it out. Then for this side, you know, maybe we should just go with that. I'm gonna do that for now. And go with that, and then give it a little bit more green. That's even too green. I think it needs to be more like on the teal side. Honestly, the original might have been the closest, but I think this blend works. No, that's too green. I think it needs to be like more. I don't even know where it needs to go. I don't know. I think it needs to go more gray, actually, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's better. Sure. Okay, we're gonna go with that. And then for this one, I think we definitely need to go more toward, well, that's completely wrong. We need to go way more yellow. Even more yellow, I think. That's okay for like this side, and then on the top we need to go lighter. Like that, maybe? I feel like this yellow area ended up just too big. Well, okay, maybe looks like that because I'm going to cover it up with the foreground parts later. Okay, that'll be it for now. We're gonna come back. Hopefully we can come back and add more details to this background stuff later. But for now, I think we need to move on to the like foreground layers. I'm currently drawing my own version of the Epic the Musical Aphrodite design I have in mind. I haven't listened to that. I really need to. I keep hearing really good things. I must know your secrets on how you're so good with backgrounds. Thank you. I really appreciate it. To be totally honest, I started this series so that I could get some more practice on backgrounds because I don't really think I'm that good with backgrounds. I guess it's, 2 years of practice. For comparison, this one is actually a redraw of one from when I recently started this series. So if you look over here, this is the one I'm working on is 77. And it's a redraw of number 9, which looked like this. So that's the comparison right now. Here, let's take away the sketch layer. So you can see at least the difference with the skull. I guess we'll hopefully see more differences as we continue. But yeah, let's try. I think I kind of want to start. No, that's too light. That's okay. I can only do sparkles and shapes and nooks and blocks. Honestly, I think unfortunately the main advice for like any art is just practice. I mean, it's not just any practice. Obviously, it has to be kind of like a focused practice. You kind of have to know what to look for in your practice, I guess. But even just unfocused practice, just trying something random is also good, to be honest. Okay, so here, I think that's one of the things I didn't do very well on this one, that it has this weird muddy color. Right now, I'm gonna make that purple. I'm making that so purple. What kind of purple? More like a bluish purple, I think. Maybe. I think it should be a little bit redder, but I think I'm going to start with this and add some more like reddish pinks to it as I go. Okay, that looks too purple. I think that's overdoing it with the purple. Although, no, I think here you can see the highlights of the parts where the grass is being hit by the light, and that's more pink, but the shadow is still pretty purple. My brain just got confused. Is the image above the reference or drawing? The top image is the reference. The bottom is what I'm currently drawing. Okay, so down here, probably also purple. I'm gonna start with purple because again, we really don't have a lot of time right now. I spent too much time on the skull, I think. I think we're gonna need to get more red in here. And actually, what do I have by way of blues? I have so many blues in here. I need something a little bit more tealish for this, though. Whoa, not that. So, apologies if you thought that the one above was my drawing, because I am not that good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this color, and then we're gonna add in the, whatchamacallit, the highlights, for where we have these little bits of light and stuff. I'm gonna put this color in here too. I think I'm gonna put this color in here. Yeah, whatever. We'll go with the highlights over this. Okay, we've got some of this stuff going here. And do we want to go in with the purples here, or do we want to make that a different color? Unsure. I'm going to go ahead and put in the tree too while we're here, just because that's also really important, and I want to make sure we don't lose it. Oh gosh, I'm really scared about the timing now. Maybe the teal should be a little more gray. I feel like mix the teal in a low opaque gray kind of for the shadow. I'm not entirely sure which shadow part you're talking about. I actually think the teals are working really well for now. I am going to keep working on them and adding more shadows and highlights as I go, but I think like for a base start, the teals are actually doing their job pretty well. So I'm going to leave them for now, but we'll come back to them. I want to put in the tree. So this is always a tricky bit because this image is in such a blue light, but obviously since the tree is brown, it's gonna get weird colors. My bad, I was thinking too much. No worries. I mean, I don't mind getting tips or anything, but obviously it's a bit of a trust the process kind of thing, right? Because I do things like one step at a time, and obviously you don't know what I'm planning in my brain, so you know. Gosh, so this is pretty gray. I think it does have like a brown to it, but it's a very cool brown. I feel like I want to go like more of a this sort of brown. Is that okay? I feel like that's kind of it. At least for like the base color. It's not quite right, but I'm gonna go with that for now. Oops. I feel like it's too light. Well, no, I'll come back in with shadows. So the base color is okay. Yeah, I think we're doing okay. Oops. Um, think we need to go more brown in here. Oh gosh, what's going on? My pen is kind of lagging again. That's been happening a lot recently. I've been considering just turning off. Actually, you know what? What am I doing? My VTube Studio isn't even working right now. Let me just turn it off. I think it's just wasting resources for no reason. Okay. I was gonna say that sometimes when I have my like VTuber avatar, it gives me some performance issues sometimes when I'm drawing, but I'm not even using it right now. So why is it on? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna keep that color there for now, and I think we'll do the highlights while we're here. That's probably too light. We'll go with this. Although, I kind of feel like I should start with a brown and then add the highlights as we go. Don't want to get too dark or too light too fast. Whoops. Let's actually switch over to the watercolor brush. Let's just color this in with that, which is, I don't love this color, but we're just using it as a base. I think I'm gonna make a lot of changes to it. Let's you know what? Let's go back to the thicker paint. I think we need it here. I don't like how this is blending. It's like not blending right. Also not quite the color I want. Sort of like that, I think. I don't know. I think I'm doing this wrong. We don't have a lot of time left, so this is not going very well, to be honest. Let's see. I'm gonna, yeah, go back to the thick paint. And actually even thicker. maybe too thick. I would like to get in the, what's it, this string with stuff. That'd be good to have as well. I actually want to do this with a less dark color. You know what? Let's go more saturated. Darker though. Man, I would love to spend way more time on this tree, but unfortunately I think we're running out of time. So I might need to wrap things up soon. Let's go back to what was the... Give it a nice bright. Maybe more like this. Man, we're really running out of time. Something like that. Let's get our dark color back again, though, and just fatten this up a little bit. And also put some, what's it? Some of our light colors on there. No, wait, before I do any of that, I think I need to put in the tree sash, if you want to call it that, the rope around it. Okay, that's a decent enough color for it, I think. The dangly bits are going to be harder. I'm going to put them in with this color and then give them some shadows and highlights and stuff too. We can actually maybe go with whatever our super dark color from before was and give them some shadows there. I know this one is like placed incorrectly too, but whatever. Don't have time for that. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. My thing froze for a second. We're really, really running out of time. This is bad. Can give that a little bit of something. Give these a little bit of highlight. Oh gosh. Let's give the rope a little bit of rope texture. Okay, I think that might be as good as we can get for that. Do we even have time to put in the lantern at all? I think we really need to finish this foreground stuff. Whew, okay. Need to lock in. Get like a nice, what's it? Oh man, I need to do something with this branch too. Oh my gosh, and we have not started on the leaves of any of these trees. We have so many trees that need leaves. Oh gosh, this is really bad. Really, really bad. Okay, shit. Okay, panic time. I feel like we haven't had a good panic in in a while. Okay, that's a decent color for that, whatever. It'll do. enough. Let's actually blend that out a little bit more. Shit. Then these ones, yeah, pretty much just blend it with the purple, I guess. Where was my purple? I think this was the purple. And oh man, I think I lost that teal, but it was a good teal. It'd be a shame to lose. Okay, we have that. Okay, that's actually looking pretty decent. Let's get some of the reds and pinks in here. And you know what, maybe in here too. I need to just bring this color together a little bit. And like put some of that in here too, and maybe in here a little bit. So this is kind of these red leaves that are scattered everywhere. Maybe I should save that for later, actually. Not that we really have a later. Oh my god, we have 5 minutes left. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, panic. Real panic. For real this time. Yikes. Okay, we need something for this. Is that color gonna work? I think that color's gonna work. Shit. What did I do? I messed something up. Can we add a little bit? No, that color's not gonna work here. Oh god. No time whatsoever. Oh, this is bad. I would love to put in that lantern, but good lord. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think we need to get in some of these highlights. We need to go lighter. And some of these highlights in the yellowy color. No, we need a different brush for that. Okay, I think that's as good as that's gonna get. Back to the highlights here. We can put some of them in here. Maybe a little bit there. Sure, whatever. Shit. Let's get our teal back and make it darker, grayer. Put some of that in some places. Shit. Oh, I really messed this one up. Oh no. What happened? How did this go so horribly wrong? Let's get a thick brush maybe for some of these. Oh boy. You know what? I think those like last couple of minutes actually already helped. I think we're looking less bad than we were even like 2 minutes ago. So it's actually not a lost cause. Let's see. Right, leaves. We have so many leaves to get through. let's also try to get in whatever the heck is going on here. There's like all these rocks and this building and whatnot. We have, okay, the things that I really want to get in are the leaves and the lantern. I think the lantern is probably, no, I don't know if I can say that the lantern is more important. I think we really, really need this tree. Okay, let's start with like the brightest leaves maybe. No, that'll be too hard to place. Because on the one hand, I don't want them to blend in, but on the other hand, it would be just really hard to place them without the other leaves. So we're just gonna go for it. That's way too light. We need dark, dark, dark. Put that underneath. That's not the right color at all. There we go. That's not perfect, but good enough. Oops. It needs to be a little bit purpler. But yeah, I don't have time to get the exact colors. I really, really don't have time for that. Let's get the dark color back. Just get way more of that, maybe even darker. And can we just go like super duper bright for just, whoa! Okay, maybe that's too much. Okay, that, I feel like that helps though. That looks really nice. Okay, so we have that. Let's try to put in the tree on the right, and then let's really try to put in the, we don't have time for that. No time. No time whatsoever. Oh god, this is awful. That's the wrong color entirely. Oh god. Oh, this is so bad. That's maybe a little bit better, but... Okay, we're gonna start with that color. It's not quite right, but it's, I think, the best we have right now. Oh, no, that looks really bad. Ah, shit, what am I doing? I think that might have to do the job. Ah, shit, 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 shit. Sorry, guys. This just went really south. Let's go more red. Okay, well, we're at time, but I really don't want to end this here. I really don't. Can we just... Oh, God. Oh my God, this went poorly. Do we have to end it here? I think we might have to end it here. Oops. Well, we don't have a lantern. We're definitely missing a lot of stuff, but I think we might need to end things here. Ugh. Okay, if there's one last thing that I could do, can I just go in with like not this color, but one of my dark browns from before. And just give it a little bit of shadow like underneath this. Yeah, I think we have to end here. The lantern! No, my lantern! Oh, that's so unfortunate. And all the trees and stuff back here didn't make it either. Oh, well, there's the comparison. I think the colors are better, but I just didn't I just didn't have time to put in enough detail. Like this one has more detail. Although not entirely, to be honest. It's so interesting to see it the entire thing like kind of shift and rotate because I placed things a little bit differently too. Um man, that's so funny to look at. And I know I also like didn't put a lot of effort into this rope thing on this one either. I remember that. It's just kind of one of those details that really isn't that important. So that's why I kind of neglect it. But oh my gosh. That's just sad to see. Because like there's the lantern, there's these little candles here, the swords. I even got this rain in. I absolutely did not have time. Interesting to see that even in this one I did not have time for these like sticks and rocks and stuff over here. There's like a little bit of a like rock fence over here and like some sort of structure here. I don't think it's an actual building. It might be some like roadside shrine or something in the corner. But yeah, I didn't have time for that there. I did not have time for it today either. Um, oh boy. I do think this one looks a lot more crisp, and that would probably be because I'm using these like harder brushes now. I think this was done like entirely with the watercolor brush. Um, gosh. Man, I feel bad about that. There's so much missing. That's pretty funny. But yeah, R.I.P. Lantern. Whew, that was a tough one. I did not realize like how I think it was just the skull. I spent so much time on that skull, and then it just screwed me over for the entire rest of the thing. Oh boy. Yikes. Man, I feel so bad about that. The skull does look very nice though. It does. It really does. Honestly, I think this one looked really nice too. I remember I did not spend a lot of time on this one. I just like scribbled it out really fast and I was like, wow, that looks really good for a fast scribble. I'm not gonna touch it. So I just kind of left it like that. Um, this time I definitely spent more time on it and it did mess me up a little bit, but maybe it was worth it. Man. Man. Oh, that was so frustrating. I do think this patch of yellow, or you know what I mean, like yellowy green here, looks a lot more accurate to the original here. It does kind of look jarring. I think because I couldn't get a lot of like texture and detail in this middle area, it just kind of looks like flat patches of color rather than actual landscape. Though to be fair, this one is also kind of has the opposite effect, where it's like too muddied up and there's not a lot of detail. whereas here it just kind of looks like shapes. I don't know. I think they're both pretty good for 1 hour, to be honest. Whew. Oh boy. That was rough. That was a workout. You know what? I like how it looks though. Like I wish I could have done more, but it is what it is. The lantern bugs me the most by far. The poor lantern. R.I.P. Uh, all right. Well, I guess that's it for today. Next week we have a very exciting week coming up. So Tuesday, Thursday, game streams. We're continuing I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, and we're going to be finishing the first playthrough. And if we finish that on Tuesday, then on Thursday we'll jump right into a second playthrough. Then on Saturday, that's right, Saturday, I'm doing my birthday stream, and I'm planning to play an assortment of short games. I have a post like on my socials and whatever asking for any recommendations if anyone knows of really short games, like under an hour long, that I can play on stream. I do already have a couple in mind, but you know, if you have any other suggestions, feel free to send them in. Yeah. And then Sunday we should be doing our regular Speedpaint stream. Speaking of which, let's do our wheel spin. Sorry, the wheel spin like takes a while to load in. Let's give it a bit. That site just like crashes my browser. Anyway, right, what was I saying? Yeah. Speedpaint next week, probably. Although I guess since I do have kind of a busy week, if I need some time to, you know, finish my weekend chores and whatnot, I might have to cancel it. But I'm planning 4 streams for next week, so we'll see. Okay, is the wheel here? Hello, wheel? Where's my wheel? That is the wrong window. I'm not a good source of short games, regrettably, because any game I play becomes a long game. So I don't know what the average playtime per game is. That's fair. All right. So as you can see, the wheel is like kind of lagging right now, but we're gonna try to spin it and hope it doesn't break. Come on, wheel, what are you doing? Yeah, I think it's like spiking my memory and GPU. I have my task manager up just to see how my computer's doing, and it's not looking so great. Okay, I'm at like 94% memory. Yikes. Oh, well, it crashed. What is going on today? I don't even have my model up or anything. The wheel site is so lagging for no reason. I think it's my computer. I don't know. My phone will crash if I try to use it there. Oh, are we doing a standard? Okay, well, looks like it's a standard. We had a nice run of no standards, but back to standard, I guess. I'm really hoping for a line work one at some point. We've never hit that one. There's actually a couple that we've never had. We've never had palette swap. We've never had cheat mode. Whoa. I think my cat just like fell. What is she doing? Kitty. Hi. She's come over to say hi. All right. Well, I guess that's it for my spiel. Yeah. 2 weekday streams, 2 weekend streams, lots of stuff happening. I hope to see you there. Oh my gosh, why is everything lagging? I think I need to like, honestly, I'm looking into buying a new computer because mine is like kind of slightly dying. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.